Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. I hope you all are doing well. I am doing amazing. I saw this on Instagram, and this story really disturbed me. And it brings forth a conversation that we need to have in regards to motherhood and more specifically Black motherhood. Okay, so trigger warning, this story is not easy to stomach. So I'm letting you all know right now it's going to be a tough conversation. So just get ready. Now, excuse my voice, y'all. I've been a little bit under the weather. Now, but before we get into this topic today, can we just take a moment, ladies? The makeup look, the snatchery of the makeup look, okay? I do my makeup looks for my live streams and for my recorded content on my Patreon. I have a women's only Patreon where, like I said, I do my makeup, my hair. I don't hold back no tips, tricks, products, any of that, okay? I do not gatekeep. And while I'm doing that, we have great girl talk. We have movie nights. We have get-togethers. So many friendships are built. We have group chats. It's a really great community of women who are solution oriented and want to look good, want to feel good, workout tips, anything womanhood, girlhood, any of the hoods in regards to being a girl, we got it covered in there. So it's a great group. If you want to join in, it is patreon.com/sixthegoddess. And that information will be in the description box for you. I have a second Patreon that is for everyone called 6 at 6. And that is my weekly live show where I cover different topics. I react to different content to kind of tap in with everybody every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And that Patreon will be in the description box as well. So I'm not going to talk too much more. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get right into this story. Okay. Actually, let me do here. Now, y'all know when this happens, when the glasses come on, things just got real. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this bigger because I want to make sure that you all can see this. So the headline says, woman arrested for having baby out with no clothes in freezing temperatures. Now, first of all, it's something about that bonnet, okay? That bonnet is always synonymous with the ain't behaviors in Black women. Like once I see a Black woman in a bonnet in public, I already know what that means, okay? I already know what the vibes are. It never fails. So the bonnet tells a lot. And let's go ahead and look at what happened.
He came in here without that jacket on. Yeah, he did.
That baby just had a pimple on. I can't. Yeah, don't do that. Somebody call police. Somebody call police on her. Get out that man. Get out that man's face, please.
You're crazy.
What the?
Okay, pause. The twerking. What is it about? You know what? The bonnet, the twerking, it's the same personality traits. Okay? These are the signs. How to tell is a problem is about to be. Why is the response to people saying, hey, okay, I don't know where y'all are, but I'm here in Georgia. It's cold. It's like 25 degrees or less at right now. And so people are coming to you saying, your baby is here in Walmart in the frozen food section with no shoes on. They're saying, what's wrong with you? What's going on? And the response is to twerk. Oh my God, the bonnet, the twerking, Lord.
Hell, somebody call the police on her.
Go ahead, since this already been called 2 times. I keep paying. So once you got hot water, fire extinguisher.
But when you come in the store fully dressed and your baby's not.
Now, if y'all are having a hard time hearing because us Florida folks, we always got to take L's, okay? People already think that we crazy. us people from Florida, and then it's always somebody just perpetuating a stereotype we already have. If y'all couldn't hear what she said, the girl is threatening to call the police, call the authorities, call CPS. And the girl's response was, oh, I don't care. They've already been called on me twice. All they're going to do is come in and make sure I have a fire extinguisher XYZ. Okay, Florida CPS is about as useful as ice in hell. So if it might be hard to hear, so I'm just telling you all the important parts you need to hear for us to have this conversation.
Right
now, I'm going to call the cops right now. How many kids do you got?
I got one.
Okay. So if they
So now, shout out to this sister who lovingly comes forward, and she got some clothing. You know, they're in Walmart. So she got some clothing from there in Walmart, and she is bringing the clothing to the baby. I want you to notice how the mother does not do anything to put the clothes on the baby herself. Okay. I want you to note that she stands back on her phone as though she's irritated and you're wasting her time as she puts the clothes on the baby. God bless this poor baby. My heart, I just want to hold this baby and hug this baby so much. I just want to nurture on this baby so much. I also want to let it be known if you notice how the child is just sitting there, you know, the child is not expressing that he's cold. The child he doesn't look upset. This is a child who is accustomed to neglect, okay? This is when a child self-soothes. They don't even feel comfortable crying out and speaking out for their needs to be met because they're conditioned for them not to be. That broke my heart. It would have been better to see the child crying, saying, oh my God, I'm cold, help me. That would have made me feel better than for this child to just sit here in pure silence, self-soothing, because he already knows his mother is not going to comfort him and care for him. So, you know, a lot of people are saying like mental health, but notice the mother is dressed for the winter. So it's like, okay, you got enough sense to where you're cold and to know that you need to put clothes on. But you're acting as though mental health, that you can't figure out that if you're cold, so is the baby.
Come on, man.
Look at the baby. Oh my God.
Oh, baby.
That's what I was more concerned.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't never in your life do that, baby. Don't give a damn. You run out that stove that you gotta stop and put something on. Hello. Hey.
Oh,
And now we're going to get to the update with this in a second. So I first want to just say, shout out to these brothers and sisters. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Community, a sense of community. This is what we got to get back to. Those days of we just sit back and watch people self-destruct, sit back and watch people hurt themselves, you know, hurt others, all in the name of, well, it ain't my business, I'm going to mind my business. That has to stop. This is how it's supposed to be. See something, do something, even more than just say something. If I was there, I would have done the same thing. Now, I would have already known if you got to say something to a woman in a bonnet that twerk, you already know it's going to be a potential conflict. But if we got to move some furniture, so be it. Okay. I'm very judgmental and I am zero tolerance when it comes to them children. Okay. When it comes to them children, honey, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about adults when it comes to kids. I'm not going to see some children in trouble and say, well, I'm mind my business because I don't want to offend the mother. No. Okay. I don't care where I am, who it is, what it is. If I see some children, black children, if I see some black children being abused, neglected in front of me, oh, something's happening. I don't care about none of that. As black people, we cannot sit and have black children be in possible harm or be mistreated, and we sit there talking about it's not my business. When it comes to them children, it's all of our business. So I was very proud to see that these brothers and sisters were able to come forth, see the problem, not just record it and not say anything, not just say it's not my business, but not only did they step in and say something, but they did something. You're in Walmart, they went, got the clothes, put the clothes on the baby. So shout out to those brothers and sisters. That made me very happy to see. Now I want you all to see the update on what ended up happening with the situation here. 1 second.
For those of you who are asking for an update, yes, she did go to jail. Yes, we did call the police. I mean, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? That's a crazy ass question to ask when you see a child that's being neglected. Don't have on any clothes, just a diaper. No shoes, no socks, no shirt, no nothing. So why wouldn't we call the fucking police? Why wouldn't we? And I'm just going to ignore the hate. For those of you who are asking for an update, I'm just going to ignore the hate, and I'm going to ignore the crazy comments. I'm not going to respond to y'all. I'm just going to ignore y'all. She asked me, did I have a child in the video? Yes, I do have a child. He's deceased. But if my child was living, ain't no way in hell my child will be out there with no clothes on, just a diaper. So there you have it. That's your update. I'm just going to ignore the hate.
Okay,
And I'm
it's
going
moving.
to
So
ignore.
allegedly, what ended up happening is she was terminated from her job. Okay. And I find that to be extremely problematic. Apparently, she was an employee there at Walmart. This is what makes people want to, quote unquote, mind their business and not speak up in situations where they should. Shout out to that sister for still speaking up, even if it put her employment at risk. God gonna bless you 1,000 times back because you did the right thing. Whatever those few pennies was that you lost by speaking up and helping that child, I promise you, I declare God going to bring that back to you 1,000-fold. Them few dollars will not compare to the job that's coming to you and the money that's coming to you for protecting that Black child. And that's on period. So now, I want to look at some of these comments. Okay. This first comment says, so instead of seeing that there was a need, she called the cops. I personally would have got the kids some clothes because obviously he is in need. It's hard providing for kids at times. See, people like this are part of the problem. Okay. When it comes, I don't know if it's because I'm a mother that I have natural parental instincts and discernment. I'm not sure what it is. But when it comes to the well-being of children in public situations like that, you got to think, put two and two together real quick. All right. On a normal basis. Now, had it been they approached this woman and said, hey, it's the middle of winter, it's cold, this child need to have some clothes on. And she would have been like, oh my God, I'm struggling right now. I don't have nothing for him. Can y'all please help me? Now that would have been a whole different story. Okay. As a mother, she should have been in there with a tank top on and had that baby wrapped up in the sweater she have on before she got that sweater on and the baby don't. There's no excuse for this. I do believe this woman probably does have some type of mental health issues, but it can't be that too big of a mental health issue. Like I said, she got the sense to put them clothes on herself. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to community accountability, and I had spoke about this a few days ago, those women where you try to correct them in any way, shape, or form, and their attitude is, oh, well, don't worry about it. Twerking, child, can't do it. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. It's always women doing the worst in life where you can't tell them nothing. It's always the women barely surviving that act as though they are so offended when someone try to correct them in any way, shape, or form. This woman did not have people come to her and say, hey, girl, you know, that baby is cold. Let's help you out. And she received the help. Be grateful. That woman did not do what a real mother should have done. Where, sweetie, if you struggling that bad, okay, if you struggling that bad, all right, but you can't because you in there buying all that pre-made frozen food. Okay, a real mother would have said, now, I don't have times, man, when I tell you I don't have times where I struggle with my son. When I was a single mother, I had times where it would be maybe next week before I was getting paid, working at the call center. And I would have to scrape under my seats trying to find 10 cents, 20 cents to get my son a fucking cheeseburger from McDonald's. I don't been down that bad before. And even then and still, if I was able to, that's back when they would have like them specials with like 10-cent hamburgers, 20-cent hamburgers. If I was able to find 20 cents, my son was going to get that food, not me. I would starve if I have to feed my child. So for me as a mother, and I've been there as a struggling single mom, girl, please, you should have had on no shirt and had your sweater, had your baby wrapped in that sweater. If so be it, if it was that bad. I don't have times where I needed pull-ups, Pampers, and I didn't have no money, but I had some food stamps. I had no shame. I would go to somebody in the store, hey, I need $10 to get this pack of pull-ups. I don't have it. Can I please purchase your groceries on my food stamp card and you give me the cash for pull-ups? No one ever said no. There's always ways. When you are open to help, when you are open to advice, people will assist you. It's no surprise to me that women like that have the mind your business, even when you're doing horrible, that's why you stay doing horrible. That's why you can't never get better and do better and grow. Okay, that's part of the problem. Okay, so people saying, oh, you couldn't just put some clothes on a baby, you had to call the police. The next clue that you need to catch on to, aside from her being completely non-receptive to advice and help that she needed, was when she clearly said that Child Protective Services have been called on her multiple times to where she already know the procedure. They just come in there and make sure you have AC and a working fire extinguisher. She ain't worried about that. She's like, child, they call CPS on me all the time. Third of all, even if somebody was to come in that store and put some clothes on that baby got to go home with her. You got to see the baby's not crying. The baby is self-soothing. The baby is immune to neglect. The baby don't even have no expectations of anyone to tend to him. God bless that baby. God bless that baby. Okay. So in situations like this, there's no way that anyone wins in this situation. The best you can do is what would be best for that child. And what we know is taking that baby back out that store to go back into this woman's care who took in Florida right now in the wintertime, it get to about 30 degrees, between 30 and 40 degrees, sometimes less around this time of year. People think Florida warm all year round. No, it is not. Okay. Especially if you're in Central Florida or the Panhandle. All right. A lot of times what happens is we will allow children to get hurt out of not wanting to inconvenience the parent or the adult. And that's not how it works. The kids come first, period. Okay. So we don't sit and say, you know what? I'm going to allow this child to potentially go back home with her in a harmful situation because I don't want to call the police. And, oh, well, there's nothing else you can do in them situations. If she's sitting there when you're trying to say, hey, your baby's freezing, no shoes, no socks, and she twerking, you got to do what you got to do. All right. Another comment says, let me see if I can. Okay, this girl says, some of y'all defending her. There's no excuse. Okay, so we need to have more of this. There are too many situations where someone is clearly self-destructing and we sit back and we act like it's not our problem. It's always our problem when it comes to kids. Kids cannot stand up for themselves. They cannot advocate for themselves. It's our job to do so, period. Okay? The mental health crisis that we have here in this country is absolutely insane. There is no doubt in my mind that that woman clearly has some form of mental health issues. But the ironic part about mental health issues in this company is in this company, well, technically it is a company, or in this country is what I meant to say, is most of the costs for mental health are out of pocket. So if somebody is already barely hanging on, struggling, help for mental health is, yeah, right. You ain't getting that. Medicaid don't cover that. You can't go to Medicaid and be like, oh, I'm having a mental health crisis, and they go cover treatment and an evaluation for you. That's not how it goes. Okay. Now I know that children are always best off with their parents. I get that. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I want this woman to have her child taken away and never to be seen again. But what I will say, I'm hoping that this child can go to a better home and this woman gets some help. Whether it's a mental health crisis, whatever it is she got going on, I want that sister to get some help. Sis, if you see this, you need to get help. You need to get mentally evaluated. If you do have a problem, you need to know what it is so that you can get resources and you can maintain it, so that you can live with it and figure out how to not have your child suffer at your hands. Okay. I hope that sister that lost her job allegedly because of helping out, sister, just stay the course. Don't worry. You gonna be blessed. Okay. This story was very heartbreaking. Not everybody should be having children. That's why I do not believe in shaming someone for choosing not to have children. Okay. This also goes back into these conversations where everybody got so mad when I said, listen, you need to leave them kids with their dad. Okay. And everyone gets so mad when I say that, but are the kids in better hands with the mothers? When it comes to raising a parent on your own, that's raising a child on your own as a parent. That's something that you got to figure out. Where is the father amongst all this? I'm hoping that child's father sees this, come get his child or something of that nature. But judging from the bonnet and the twerking, the daddy probably a Pookie child. But that baby might still be better off with Pookie than with Pookisha, as we saw. God bless that baby. God bless those brothers and sisters that helped out. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think about this situation. Do you call the police? Do you not involve the authorities? I do understand as Black Americans, there's always a risk in calling the police. We all can get locked up and lose it by calling them. I do understand the risk involved, but what would you have done in that situation? Let's have the conversation. Make sure you like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see y'all on the next one.